now muted.
And thank you very much for joining us for this overview presentation of Sage ERP X3. Today we're going to focus on the theme of powerful support for distributors. Powerful support is whether you are a distributor or a manufacturer that also distributes product that you build your software or import. And today, with the product demonstration, I want to share some information with you about Sage, and also introduce you to X3. Delivering software to companies like yours for more than 30 years. This means we fully understand the mid and small size markets and at that time we've been able to make large investments in software platforms and positioned our market is unique. There are really three tiers or three types of businesses in the mid-market as we see it. Small business can purchase an inexpensive canned software package and work around the deficiencies using manual processes. End of the spectrum are the large businesses. These companies have deep pockets and have a few dollars with plenty of resources to throw building their dream solution. It fits the mid-market or companies like yours. Yours are no less complex than the large businesses, but limited budget and limited resources. You may work internationally and need an easy to use solution that's also flexible to configure to your requirements and to implement. This, and we work with companies with the X3 product from 10 to more than 1,000 users. This takes some of the functionality within X3, and ERP X3 offers very powerful EP functionality, very cost-effective and flexible package. All functionality is embedded into a single platform. All Sage X3 is 100% enabled, so you and business partners have the power of the ERP system as close as your internet browser from anywhere in the world. Whether you have a 10-user or 1,000-user organization, X3 has the power and the flexibility to work with business to better serve your customers. X3 is currently in over 55 countries, supports 14 legislations, and is translated in 10 different languages, all backing of Sage, and can also offer a large network of development partners, or ISVs, that offer add-ons for things like human resources, Sage Tax, others. To Sage's world presence, you may or may not do business with anyone outside of North America today, but we all know that technology is causing the world to shrink. It's becoming more and more of a global economy. So it's far-fetched that you may need to do business outside of your current borders. Sage will be there to support you. We have 3,500 customers over the world with over 186,000 different licensed users. Of some of the North American companies. With that out of the way, let's get to the product demonstration. We can show you how easy a powerful ERP package can be. Today we're going to walk through an overview showing the dashboards and key performance indicators, visual process maps, and interface navigation, along with work and office integration. Go into the distribution-specific functionality, showing the fast, flexible order processing, searching just information and allocation engines, our customer service or order entry package, as well the pick, pack, and ship functionality. We can utilize barcode scanning, can do this automatically or with workbenches. Also into the purchasing and receiving with our replenishment options, buyer's workbench, container tracking, and so forth. So, it's really designed to fit of doing business to meet the needs of the client. We have two different types of interfaces. There's a client and the web browser interface. We're completely web native, so you can access these applications anywhere in the world on a browser. To be a client, I'm going to put it away, access the web browser. Just to show you that it's I was actually running in a browser. I'm going to flip my browser over to full screen mode to get more real estate to display the web browser application. It's very user-centric, easy to use, intuitive, and quite efficient. And typically in an organization, there are different types of users. There are the viewers of information and readers of information. And of course, they overlap in some cases, but we take care of both of these users nicely. Browser is, the viewer is displayed in different tabs across the top of, so I can access different pieces of functionality by the different tabs. These tabs represent dashboards. And so on dashboard, I have a dashboard entitled my dashboard. So this is the viewers of information, the managers or executives within the organization. They usually can sort of bring their own personal information to this page. I'm looking at finance RSS feeds here, potentially weather reports that might be of interest to me here in my gadget as well. On the dashboard, the different packets of information here are called dashboard gadgets. They're made up of real-time information depicted in graphics or grids with drill down to additional information. For example, are the sales rep analysis dashboard. Enlarge the graphs to view this way. I also have a multi-dimensional feature, so I can view this in revenue amounts or margins or purchased. I can alter the way the graphs are viewed through pie charts or bar charts or any of the others. With graphs and charts, I also have drill down capability. So over the bar, it's going to show me the sales rep and his unit amount. I could then zoom in to different features and functions, looking at the different product classes that this particular sales rep has sold. I can then drill further into the category and look at the products themselves, and so forth, and continue to drill through that particular information. So, charts allow me to see information and trends more fully. The information is all pre-built and be pulled from hundreds of predefined dashboard gadgets in our tool chest. Other types of information besides weather and industry news are things like high-level summations. It might be important for me to be looking at my bookings, shipments, and invoices on a week-to-date, month-to-date, and year-to-date basis. The information is updated in real time as new orders and invoices are processed. Very capabilities. Same with summary of aged receivables. There's also addition of the data have management by exception. What we meant is don't show me every order that's out there. I only want to see, don't give a list of the orders that are out there. I want to see just the orders with late ship dates. So, for example, I've dropped the bar down and looking at orders with late ship dates. I can also expand that particular view and look out and see my order with late ship dates. This particular view is showing me this particular customer with this product, and you've got 400 orders. Drill downs allow me to continue to flesh out the dashboard to show additional information by back order by site, what is order by order, and date. From a high-level dashboard down to one of very minute detail. And again, from here, within this management by exception, orders with late ship dates, I can drill directly into the sales order and review what's going on as well. Just to keep my finger on the pulse of my organization, utilizing the gadgets within the application. Not only do I have the summarizations, the graphics, and the management by exception, but I also have high-powered reports and business intelligence statistics at my desktop as well. An example of that is over in my Sales Manager Indicator process map. By clicking this icon, I'm able to bring up our analysis query. This is real-time information from the Sage database. This particular sales dashboard starts at a very detailed level, but very quickly can become very full summarization. With our reports, they are multi-level reports. I can view, for example, in this example, this is customer purchases of a particular product over time, with showing me each occurrence, showing me amounts, margins, and product categories, customer categories as well. By Criteria tab, I'm able to select customers or certain products or combinations of products, product classes, customers, or channels to get the sales analysis information that I specifically want. This is common between all of the inquiries within X3. In that, I can memorize some of my favorite criteria and roll them later without me having to fill in this information all the time. I could create specific gadgets for that and display that information on the desktop as well. Report being a multi-level report. So what I have at my disposal is the ability to drill down or summarize in a level. With a push of one button, I've summarized all of this customer's purchases of the product, fixed the amounts, the margins, and quantities, and so forth. I can then push it again, and going from customer, I'm now getting the customer's total sales. Very quickly, from the dashboard, I can get my top 20 new margin or quantity simply by clicking on the column headers. And if I wanted to view that graphically, this little icon indicates I've got a graph behind the scenes as well. Very way of getting a graph of my top 10 customers very quickly from a dashboard in a browser from anywhere in the world. The sales analysis query, the next thing I'm going to display or show you is our business intent statistics. This is create data cubes, or we create knowledge out of the transactional activities of the X3 ERP system. VA statistic cubes are part of the application and standard with every licensed user. So view these cubes in grids or in graphs, as we've seen. As well, there are numerous that are available. This one happens to be invoice sales. If I do a select, just to show these are part of the numerous different graphs or the different types of these charts available within the application. These are all written, come out of the box, and you can utilize them. You also have the ability to alter them or create brand new as well. I'm not just one company, but with the way that X3 has multiple company operations with one instance, I can simply erase the company and ask it to search across all companies. In this example, I'm seeing sales rep sales achieved this year versus last year with a comparison between the two. Margins and the results as well. Fiscal periods allows me to analyze this on a month-by-month basis, comparing one year to the next, simply by defaulting it here, or allowing me to rekey this information if I wanted to do a different type of analysis. This report is driven by sales rep, with you to drill down from here. Criteria tab shows me the power behind this particular report and the order of criteria with the default up with sales rep by product family by product. But I want to analyze this instead by product family, and then tab off that and look at this by product as well. By doing that now, X3 will organize the information and allow me to analyze this information by, in this example, family. Then as I highlight a particular area and move to another role, it will now show me all the products within that particular family. So just like last time, we're seeing this information in a grid. Also can view this information graphically. I can also export export this information to products like Excel simply by a button here within the Internet browser. You can click another report and format that report to Excel as well. And simply show it works. Here's the information that is populating inside the Excel spreadsheet as we speak. It's powerful to have real-time access like this to information, even in a web browser. So if that information was for the viewer of information, or the executive managers, we also provide a great interface to the information creators, the associate, the customer service rep, operations folks, accounting individuals as well. Processes and procedures improve results within the organization. Procedures and processes make what we call a visual process map. And we can tune these to the individual's job. 160 of these come pre-built out of the box with the standard edition showing our best practices, but you fine-tune these again to your own requirements. You've got a graphical menu of sorts. I click to open any of these particular functions. They be X3 screens and functions, different websites, or Excel sheets, or bringing up help screens. Make it very easy to train new people, easy to implement applications or implement an X3 system. Again, from 160 different predefined processes allow you to create your own. You can get a clear view of what they're after with one-click access. It's very easy, intuitive, and you can actually mix and match the process maps along with or gadgets to provide a environment to give the individual exactly what he's looking for to do his job. This is an example of a purchasing process that's also displayed here with orders to receive. So these gadgets can be very handy. So I can look and see what's coming from a warehouse perspective or from a purchasing perspective as well. We've got the dashboards, the visual process maps, and of course we also have menu bar in our browser as well. We're a multi-site, multi-company, multi-currency, multi-language, multi-location, and note that I drive through this menu at full functionality that other mid-market products have to add additional third-party products such as CRM or workflows, barcode scanning capabilities, MRP. So all there is part of the X3 family. So, for example, if I want to drill into create an order in sales order entry, sales, orders, and then go out to order entry. It's very intuitive. It's very easy to utilize. The great feature of X3 is that it allows user-defined types of transactions and alter the transaction types and create ways, for example, of ordering, and allows companies to vary the order taking based on the need to take an order by phone or an order form or cash sales, large customer or small customer. So I click on the order form here, it's going to give me a choice of the different types of categories of order that are available: direct, fast, low order, or standard order. And this is also one that I built just today for displaying some of the information we want to take a look at. Distribution area. Ability, if I wish, to right-click and add this to my favorite bar. My favorite bar is for those heads-down users that want to simply look at only the things they utilize as they wear different hats during the day. This will, maybe in the morning I'm in customer service doing quote orders. In the afternoon doing CRM activities, following up on calls and tasks. So these are simply my favorites of things that I've hand-picked and hand-built from my X3 menu. Within menu, everything is set by security and role in the company, and this will determine what you see and what you access. And as a I'm logged in today as a super user, so I'll have access to everything within the application, and with numerous tabs along the top as well. Typically, if I'm of information and order entry individual, I only have a handful of screens that I would have access to, and only a few tabs that I would utilize. So what I'm doing now, we've been driving through the web application, so I'm going to close the application down, and then continue through X3 utilizing the application. Into the client application, and here I want to take a look at some of the report options within X3 just as a review. These we've seen on our gadgets and desktops. They're throughout the application, grids and graphs and charts. Our standard reports. Forms are output to Crystal reports, giving you the flexibility to configure internal reports as well as create multiple versions of reports, external documents as well. You can also use Crystal to create your own custom reports. We have the business statistics that we saw in our chart about invoice sales earlier. We also have the ability to create user-defined inquiries. These user-defined inquiries can be anything from a simple graphical requester that you can give to a user, create information based on what they have security to see, standard requester for super users, or if you're a SQL server, you can utilize a SQL requester and simply write SQL code directly. What I want to focus on is the interface. About the 5 different, I'm going to go back to a product that I've built for today's presentation, and it simply walks through the things we're going to look at here in our presentation. I'm focused on the sales order entry form, and it's very important to distribution. One of the 5 different sections that are part of an X3 entry screen. Again, this is completely controlled by security. Security controls what you see, or business partner will see if they come in. That's all defined by the role for both screen access and data access. Within the X3 screen, what I want to take a look at is I can get here from many different places, from the menus or from the visual process maps or drill downs from other screens. But I always know where I am. And it's because if you follow my cursor, I'm in the first section of the orders menu of the sales menu. So from here, I can actually access the complete menu system as well. I can go out to within sales, go out to pricing, orders, allocations, just as we saw before. The orders menu, I can also access all of the sales contracts or shipment requests from here. So basically, I can go where I need to go, even sitting right here in the X3 screen. I have access to the complete menu structure, as well as my favorites from here as well. So we're in the breadcrumbs around to know where we are, and also be able to quickly get to the screens we want to get to. So I can do what? So I can answer the customer's questions very, very quickly. Yeah, the menu also allows me to get to things such as help. I can access a function help, which is the help for the sales order entry screen, or a field help by simply coming to the menu structure here, or accessing a function key. In fact, the entire screen is leveraged either by menus and mouses, or I can also create new orders with the Control N, can save orders with Control S. So I can completely drive through the screens with function keys, or if I prefer. So the first section is the breadcrumbs and the menu. Section 2 is the form header. And it gives you the basic information about the form that you're working with. So show me my site information, my sold to customer, and where else I need to display. Act with X3 with the ability to create your own versions of screens to fit your requirements. You're in complete control of what displays here. Some functions here. We do have multiple regions for sales orders as well. And where I see a customer account number or a product code or anything that has data in the back of the system, I have the ability to tunnel directly into those forms as well. We'll take a look at that now and funneling capability as well. So if the header form is there, the next section are the tabs and grids. You can the order of the tabs. You can control the order of the fields within the tabs. The information is displayed here in grid form. I can view information and enter information into the grid. I also have a feature that I have called form mode. That is available from a right click to come down and view form mode, or I can also simply access it through a character combination by pressing the control character combination. What I'm displaying here is anything I want to display, anything that the customer service person might need that doesn't want to drive all the way to the right of the grid. Also, in the grids, I can expand those by simply pressing the plus arrow here and view that information in such a fashion. Okay. Area is the section of the buttons along the bottom of the screen. Depending on the order, and depending on the form, the buttons only light up when their feature or their functionality is available. So, for example, with this order, application is no longer necessary or preparation, but I would be able to review, hold, and release, create a pro forma, or for the delivery of this particular operation. So the buttons are very handy. List window is what I'm looking at over here, and this is some of the most powerful features within the X3 application. It lists data related to the specific function that I have. I can report this information with a click. I am seeing the information I need to see to do my job. There's also the ability to come in and sort this information or do searches as well to be able to search within that particular form. This will show the power of the left list will display more as we work through the presentation, but I think can also utilize or look at the last things I've worked with today in case I want to go back to the last order. Use these as different file drawers or file cabinets. I also can configure these based on my role or function within the organization. If I were an individual that had access to was to clean up the orders on hold, then at this point I can do a selection to see the orders on hold, or I could have my order screen configured simply to show these particular items. For example, as I highlight a particular order, you note that the condition formatting is showing me that the order number here is in red and probably a price hold here on this particular item. So a great nice feature about the list is its capability to information and pick from that information in order to move forward. The ability of the list is to be able to make selections. For example, on an open order out to a particular customer, there is the quote selection feature here. These valid quotes available to this customer, and to approve a particular quote, I can either come here and approve item 1.5, and notice they're automatically added to the order for me without having to rekey that information. Basically, all forms work in a similar fashion with the drill down capability, lists, buttons, and capabilities to go from there. Let's take a look at integration to tool sets within the application. For example, integration to Microsoft Office. We, in one case, our ability to export information out of Excel. I'm going to show you an import capability we have in our workflow section, but I also want to show you the ability for us to utilize the power of Microsoft Office documents in any screen or any part of an application. The best way to display that is in the process map is taking me straight to quote number 59, and this allows me to within a quote, I have that ability, of course, to while I'm here specify a quote until such and such a day. We assigned a sales rep, probability of closing, things of that nature. But what I want to draw attention to is this particular tab, the Office Document tab. That's me use the power of Word or Excel to make the customer have a better experience from reading my quotation by creating a Word document, so to speak, and inserting that inside the quotation. So what I'm doing here is simply a Word document that allows me to put in whatever I wish, or whatever I wish. But when I'm ready, I can simply ask X3 to fill that information in for me. So I can view information and, again, give that customer a better, a very nice experience in get a quote from our organization. Of course, we also have the standard quote form as well, but simply allows us to do a little better. And this can be configured to go into any type of form that we wish. This has to be a quote, but the same thing could be a part of an order, purchase or sales order. Integrations, of course, are integrations to Outlook. Go ahead and open my Outlook and back to X3. And with X3, I have a calendar that allows me to display all of the tasks, appointments, telephone calls within that are my responsibility. So within this calendar, I'm viewing different things I need to do, make presentations, review marketing plans. These all revolve around being appointments, tasks, or telephone calls that are visible here on my X3 calendar, or also visible through my grid window. I'll simply come in and activate these one at a time. Within X3, I can drill down to these particular and we'll look at that with a little example. But I also have the ability with these with the integration to Outlook to push those out to Outlook as well. So as I review the calendar, I have that same information here dropped into Outlook through that synchronization feature that can be run manually or run as part of the batch process. Okay. So integration to Outlook can be very powerful. Integration to Office tools can be very powerful and to help our customers have a better experience. The two things are very important functions within X3, and they differentiate us greatly. They're also embedded in the application. They come as no additional cost. One of those is roles within the application. Those can be assigned to roles, and it's more than just security. It can work with a filtering mechanism to limit you on what you can access, the data you can access, what you're allowed to perform or not perform. At a high-level example, I've got two examples here. One is an unrestricted invoice. I'm simply going to click this visual process map. It's going to open up an invoice form and show me here that I've got 7 different tabs across the top. First two, main information and invoicing information that might be necessary by one individual, but might not be necessary with another. So this is an example of that same form under a more restricted fashion. The user simply accesses invoicing and doesn't realize that there's a management tab or the other tab. It just simply takes me straight to lines to limit information that I'm after. Very powerful way of making it easy to use the application. Second important function is the automated workflow. I'm going to take you through a couple of examples with this as well. This has to do around notifications, email hold and approvals, or that user or robot manager with the eyes that never sleep that do exactly what we want them to do all the time. We utilize rules to look for to create results, and things support this exception-based management or management by exception, allow us to communicate nicely with external systems, and allow us to do automation or to eliminate these non-value-added tasks that we might have through our processes. For example, that's going to create triggers that happen based on an event, a rule to trigger a result of that event that occurred. My first example, demo company, when I create a quote within my organization. In this example, it's a quotation, but I can also do the same thing as this visual process map depicts. I could also do the same identical functionality with any other transaction in X3 as well: purchase orders, requisitions, management. So this quotation is created based on certain rules. It could be margin or value, sales rep, whatever the case might be. I'm going to place this quote on hold. It needs to be approved from both sales and administration, also a final sign-off from both sales and administration. I need that to go on hold. I need to notify sales and admin that approval is needed, and I'll create a follow-up call automatically for the rep to call on the account in a week. So when I put a quote, I'm going to simply put here, and in this example, I'm back to quote number 59, and I'm going to utilize some of the great functionality within the application to copy a quote. I'm simply going to delete the quote number. This works in the same with a sales order or a purchase order or any transaction within X3. Tab off the field, and now X3 understands that I want to create a new quote for our webinar today. I could actually change the customer here if I wished. I could change any of the other information that's available. It will to recalculate prices and discounts. Yes, and then note that the Create button is lit, indicating that I want to start. Well, at this confirming that I want to make a copy of that original quote. All things that I described earlier have taken place, and all I've done as a user is simply do my job by creating a copy of a previous quote. Let's look and see what we're referring to. So out of the quote form here, you can view the different holds within the application. Now, this is going to take a look at our workflow monitor. These monitors can be configured based on sales or notice the emails that are coming out. We'll take a look at those in just a moment. I'm going to look at sales signatures. What happened is we've created 66. And sure enough, this could be part of my gadget that we saw earlier on my desktop, or I could simply open the workflow monitor for my tasks and simply watch this on an ongoing basis. From I have notified sales as well as admin that this needs to be approved. I, for example, come here and normally you would be filtered to only view the workflows that you had. I can come out and sign this from here or validate this. Yes, I approve it. And then it's going to remember who I am and what happened. What might happen is oftentimes I can prove this till I take a look at it. Well, I can right-click here throughout X3 and go down to that triggering operation. So I can come out and drill down into that particular quote information. And if I have security access to approve it, I can come in and view, I can hit, or I can see what's happened so far. Thus far, it's been signed by this user on this particular time. It was it's a sales receipt. I view all the things that are history, but I can also come here and sign this as a user from the form itself. Powerful case for holds in the application. In addition to that, we can go out and view other types of notification capabilities. If I look back at my process map, the type is emails. Actually can generate emails as notification. So if I come in here, come out to my administrative area, this is an example of a type of email that can be triggered. Both shows that this quote needs to be confirmed, and it actually provides a link that if I wished, I could have approved the quotation by simply clicking on this link. It would then send in a message to X3 to sign and approve it, or I could refuse it. Or if I want to view that on the internet site, I can actually click this link. It will open this up to quote number 66 right inside of the browser. So yet another way of accessing that information. Which cases we don't want to send an email for every particular approval. The other thing I want to take note of is we also created a follow-up call. This is the X3 CRM window that we saw before, but now when I refresh this activity, I now have a call that has automatically been generated a week out to follow up on my request. So I can double-click this call out there, and now I'm looking at X3 and seeing under my CRM activities, call to follow up on quote number 66. This is completely configured by the workflow engine. It just helps to make sure we're bringing our customers to be served. The type of notifications that we'll look at as well is I have an order entry. I've generated a notification to automatically send an email acknowledgement. We'll look at that in just a moment. But in this example, this is an import from Excel or any other type of Word or electronic document. It plays very nicely with suppliers and customers and outside reps. These import and export templates are very easily configured. They also they come configured within X3 for all the standard transactions, but allows this, again, predefined but configurable so you can easily build them to match the needs of your clients. So this example, this it's a template sheet that shows 3 products, 02, 05, 06, showing 20, 10, and 1 quantities. And I'm going to go delete my other spread we exported to before. What this particular feature allows us to do is this engine can watch file in an folder, can monitor FTP sites, or receive information from websites. This example, I'm firing it off manually, but it can also be running as a batch file. So this is simply going to go out and find the file that I just displayed. And in this example, it will enter the order just exactly as if it were an order that were keyed. This is a log file that would be generated, a report that I don't have to view, date and time stamped, showing what took place, and then come back and view if desired. What happened is I've generated a new order in my system. Now I can come back and view information, but same importing capability works just the same with the ease of supplier processes, E-type transactions, sales rep template orders, orders from websites, etc. So I now come back to sales order entry. I'm seeing order number 401 here with these different products that have been keyed. And if you remember, all I really saw was my order, my customer, and products and order quantities. X3 is fill all the rest based on its parameters. So as a review, we have gone through and looked. And by the way, here's our confirmation email. Simply shows same workflows and notification capabilities as well. We're hand keyed or brought in through in workflow tools. Review, we can dashboards with KPIs and business statistics to give us real-time information to make decisions to better serve customers and enhance profitability. We've seen visual process maps or little menus to make X3 easy to learn for people and ensure compliance with processes, company procedures, and best practices. We've seen this consistent user interface, completely web-enabled. You can make your versions of the transaction entry screens. Powerful workflow engines that are out there for us to special situations, avoid those issues that might upset a customer, cost the company money or profits before they become uncollectible. So as we continue to move through the presentation, we are about through. I'm going to move into the X3 quote to cash. Portion of the product demonstration. So with first section, I want to cover the customer service area, or fast, flexible order entry processing, access to information, allocations, getting it through the door. With X3, I can quotes that can turn into orders. Quotes can be created by customers or prospects that are not yet customers. A feature of sales contracts or blanket orders can be defined and released to feed for mixed for term type orders from customers. That ability to create those defined type of sale order parameters so that only data supporting the appropriate order mode is being asked for. select companies to vary their way they do business based on the requirements of their customer, and without offering any source code. And it has to be fast and easy to use. You're able to serve the customer while controlling margins and your credit as well. What I like to do is walk through a quick run-through of a quick order in X3. In this scenario, I'm a customer service person. I don't know the customer code. I don't know the product code. And the customer is even going to ask me questions about the product that I'm going to have to access from the manufacturer. In this additional feature, I'm going to start off in the customer service workbench, and you'll understand why in a moment. As a customer service person, I've got a call from Pete Johnson at buyers.com. And from here, I can come to, hi Pete, how are you doing? So I can pin a starting point, tab off the field, and it will bring every Pete that's in the system. I could also have typed in buy, tab off that field, and it will limit that down to a short list. Hi, how's it going? Great. Well, once I lock that particular order in, I access many different pieces of information, and we'll come to that in just a moment, but I'm doing the quick order at the moment. So I'm simply going to come in and say, all right, Pete, to order a mouse. From here, notice that it's pre-set up, it's already sent in to Pete, and I can simply come here and type in the characters OUS because I know that's what is in a mouse, off that field, and sure enough, there's my selection of anything that contains OUS in the description field. You want to enter to the professional. I think I want the standard, is what he says. Great. All right. So I'll grab that off my list. How many do we need today? I need about 10 of them. Great. And there I simply create the order, and that I need to do to create an order with NX3. Not knowing the customer's code number, not knowing the product. Oh, by the way, Pete says, can you give some information about this thing? Well, right-click and actually run down and look at product info. What that is for me, it can open up a link to the manufacturer's website to allow me to come in and get any type of information that might be available or functionality. And as I create that order, I can tell the Pete, hey Pete, you can expect your follow-up email very soon to acknowledge the receipt of your order. We'll also send you an email when it ships. Those are all things that are ALEX-type configurations within X3. Let's go back and take a little slower look at that and see this going through from a distribution perspective. Customer service workbench, get the idea here that as I type in different code names and different character names, it can take that list from thousands or tens of thousands of customers down to the handful of things I need to look for. Once that customer in, I can now get literally a 360-degree view of all of the latest customer activities. So this is a personalized customer-driven order experience. So I can come out and view different inquiries of the customer. I can look in the orders, shipments, invoices from there, install base of products he's purchased from us, price information inventory. I can also look at something called BP situation, which will throw together risk assessment, last operation, and aged analysis. This is a very handy screen to be used in some organizations. I'm now looking at all the open items that are from this particular customer. I'm viewing each individual invoice that's been aged appropriately. I'm seeing this information over in buckets. I also can view this in a graphical format as well. The aging buckets are user definable. We have some 8 of them that you can configure, that you're able to figure in addition to the total. In addition to that, I can also tab in from here if I needed to drill down directly to that voice to give Pete more information about what's going on from a basis. Calculate my exposure to this company if I'm trying to make decisions on how this will take place or not. Example, he says has an off credit limit of $200,000. Certain I'm seeing on order amounts, items that are shipped but not invoiced, etc. Anyway, see a number, I can right click and drill down directly into that list of orders if I wish. I'm information both from the order side as well as the side. Again, oftentimes customers may be calling for the question about the last operation that took place. So those are all here nicely available, where I can drill down quickly into these quotes, orders, shipments, or invoices. All have different calculations of statistics, number of late payments, how good they are as a customer, things of that nature. Also add additional fields to these original calculations if you have different ways that you utilize this yourself. So in addition to all those different types of inquiries about the customer, I can also perform different actions. As a manager, I can plan appointments or telephone calls for myself or my staff in the future, or I create them right now as a task or a project or a request from here. I also have the ability to use orders or quotes. I can look at my customer history, showing me information of everything that's ever transpired with this customer. I selected was the order feature, and simply generated a new order for me within this particular sales order entry form. So this is all they need to go. So for within that particular order, I did that from customer service. I also had the ability to drive in here from sales order as well. If that's my choice, I can then generate a new order here by that or a function key. I have the same fuzzy-like searching capability here from the sold to. I can institute a quick search where I'm looking for either Pete and all the Pete's, or I can come in and simply look at the buy as well and view all that. So when we search multiple fields, in case from a single field on the system, we call those fuzzy logic searches. So we have that fuzzy logic quick search that I can get at from a quick function key or a right click and drill down into a quick customer search. What we saw before, let me go Pete. And this some of the distribution-specific functionality that exists in sales order entry that helps us catch mistakes before we upset a customer or lose business. First of all, we saw earlier that I needed to get access to product very quickly. I have this fuzzy logic search that lets me simply type in OUS or any particular area of a description field, and it will bring up what I'm looking for. I also have the capability of doing this by product code as well, where I can type starting point of the product code, tab off the field, and it will bring up the TED type of wildcard, the first 3 characters. So in addition to that, I also got a search that I can do a selection from, and then I have the ability to add as many additional fields as I wish to this particular area, and I can search here as well. So a lot of ways of wildcarding in this case, and the same type of information. So searching is very important. We've got very powerful ways of bringing that information up so that I can serve that customer quickly. What I might need, this is an example of a product with product pop-up notes. These are completely configurable. You can, in this example, they are configured to explain features and benefits, show substitute information, or cross-sell items. You can configure what they say and which particular screens you'd like them to pop up in. So you might envision this in a quote or a purchase order as well for one, any, or all products based on the rules you want to set. In addition to that, we have as I input a line, so have margin management. In this example, this shows me that I'm % margin. My margin on this product is 50%. So it just shows me I'm upside down, and based on what I want to do here, I can put it on a user-defined hold with workflow, or simply use this as a warning. There's the ability for what I call fat fingering mistakes. So if customer is 1,000 of something, but I key 10,000, I can also have X3 limit this on a product-by-product basis and say, no one's going to order that many. I simply want to keep us from making those mistakes. That is often utilized in distribution systems as well, would be the ability to delete lines, as well as come in and use different types of supersession or tracking. In this case, I've keyed in product code, and it's automatically going to be replaced by the substitute product as well. The thing distributors are oftentimes higher are the ability to order by customer product codes as well. This particular customer might have their own computer system. In that computer system, they've defined this item as a CM1. And what this do for me is simply default customer-specific information on the order line from both the part number automatically crossed over, as well as the description, whatever they want to call it. And on the external-facing documents to the customer, at your discretion, you can place your product code, our product code, or both to that customer. Not it happens with your customers, but in some organizations, you might get a question like, hey, how much did you me for that? Well, $19. I know I've never paid that much for that before. In this example from within X3, I'm armed with that information to be able to quickly get at last prices paid. So as an example, I can come in and quickly view, well, I am seeing that you're paying $19 for a long time, but there are some situations that are where you did pay less. Let's take a look. So from here, then right-click and not drill into the reasons why I came up with that price, but more importantly, I can go quickly into the sales order system and say, I do see that you're part of a promotion that's going on. And then, sure enough, seeing that if you can get the order quantity up to over 50, I can get that price down to $18.95. If you go over 100, I can get it down to $17.69. From there, you have everything at your disposal from a drill down capability. I can then key in my 60 units that this customer is able to take. It's going to say, would you like me to recalculate prices and discounts? And it will do so. With respect to pricing, X3's very flexible pricing rules allow you to generate pricing rules that are based off a mix of both product elements or customer elements. It's you to see that balance between value to your customer but also profitability. And there's a wide variety of ways of pricing, such as contracts, promotion, sales channel pricing, variable kit pricing. There are features to be able to group lines together, add free products when pricing thresholds are met. And discounts and charges can be automatically factored in and calculated into a net price, or also be broken down on a gross price less specific discounts as well. Within X3 that distributors find very helpful are the ability to have restrictions, or certain customers are not authorized to purchase certain products for certain reasons. And this example is an example of one of those. This particular item is not available for sale in that particular region that customer belongs to. We have kit pricing, or sales kits, where I am simply to flesh out a bill of material for a particular customer. This lets me keep my individual components and inventory as they are, but simply define a product here that will automatically create those items on my sales or pick ticket for me. I price that at a level where I have a price for the kit, or the price can be made up of the individual components as well. Yours, depending on how you want to run that particular area within the application. And well, customers are who have seen a hint of it already through the ability to drill down, but I also have easy access to all sorts of time-phased information. This is one stock by site, being able to view all information about product wherever it might be. In this example, I'm looking at my Atlanta location. I've got 6,000 available. I've got 1,000 on sales orders. The 6,000 waiting to be put away, 900 on order. I can view this information graphically. Also have ability to, if I'm a multi-location, I come in, tab off that field, remove that location, and see this data and information across multiple sites. These sites can be both plants, Atlanta, Chicago, Irvine, or I could also have truck inventory or it would also display. So those are some of the things that help us keep out of trouble with certain orders and whatnot. I also have the ability to, I want to look at the power of X3 by highlighting a specific order that's in the system. With particular order display, some of the that make X3 work for larger organizations, but it's available to the small organizations as well. You saw how easy it was to create that order without knowing customer code or whatnot. But in this example, I'm going to each of the lines here. I'm going to highlight a feature that we have that allow us to explore the grid across the page. And so for on the order, I have the ability to of course, calculate margins, but I also have a expected ship date and a expected delivery date at the line level. So I can alter this at that level, eliminating the need to create multiple or separate orders. I can also alter the ship to address if the customer wants those shipped in different places. Also alter the shipping from site as well. I can ship from different locations depending on depending on my needs, also the needs of the customer. So shipment depicts how I want to source orders. I can source orders from stock or by shipping them directly from suppliers for a direct to customer on a drop ship basis. Also have the ability to transfer products from other sites, or in this example, ship products directly from other sites, as well as creating work orders or production orders. Within X3, I can also come back with this down and view status of, I could go out, for example, and view the quote text that's available from quote 51 that originally created this order. If I'm doing any value add in the back of my distribution environment, or I'm a manufacturer, I can also view work orders directly from here to view the status of those orders. From that perspective, in the scaling area, I can come out and get a graphic view of where I am and where it's anticipated that this thing will finish up sometime Friday afternoon. So come back and look at a status bar, which will simply show me where this is in production, so that graph shows that there were 25 to be made, and it looks like we have 5 of them made already. You can also see how we're doing with the components and the different operations, op 5 and op 10, for that particular value-added function. Down from within sales order entry, and also right-click and view the purchase orders as well, but won't do that from this particular area. Also, just to review one more time, this form mode that we have at our disposal, these are all different drill downs that you have at your disposal, or you can also create your additional drill downs for specific things that might need to be acquired by your organization. Form allows me to look at everything there is about that particular line or whatever I want to configure, not to overwhelm individuals, but oftentimes there's certain individuals in that customer service role that need a lot of information about a customer. And it can be configured to all be there. So let's walk across some of the other tabs that are available to us. Let's start with this is called Management tab. In old school systems, this was typically things that might be on the header of the order, but all I really did was put in the default customer code, and I can specify by default the bill to, the pay by, which customer group this belongs to. I come in and actually enter in new ship to customer addresses here from order entry without having to go to a different area to view that. I can view the address. I also have the ability to do, within X3, do some mapping depending on if I use Google or Bing. So I can go out and actually see exactly where this particular order, this ship to is going to go. of the management tab here, I can assign these to different projects from CRM. I'm seeing the sales rep that was assigned to this particular order. Also, a very detailed order status of what's going on at this point. Every time I enter the order, credits, margin is being double checked and okayed. There are user definable hold fields that you can create using workflows to do this as well. Delivery, this shipment site is automatically depicted from the ship to location, but can be overridden at the line level as shipping priorities. Does this customer belong on a route? Carriers and freight terms can also be done at the line level. These backward not order per shipment, and also if I security to release this order from hold, I can do so from here. And also the partial shipment rules. Oftentimes customers want to allow partial shipments or not, or organizations want to do that. You have that at your disposal, or can also alter that on an order-by-order basis if necessary. Different indexing elements that are available depending on the requirements of your customer. In order to satisfy their requirements, you might do automatically invoice them one per shipment, or one per month, or per period, or manually at your discretion whenever you wish, or anything in between. So numerous different invoicing elements in case I want to keep track of freights, discounts, and discount percentages at a tool level. I can define these different invoicing elements by form or by customer. That miscellaneous tabs on user definable holds, freight estimates. I can integrate to a freighting system to give me estimates at the sales order, or I can also integrate with UPS and the FedEx as well. Credits can be taken as forms of payment. Secure card processing, all PCI compliant, is through Sage Exchange's Sage Payment Solution platform. I can also take mobile cards or multiple forms of payment on order, which is also quite nice in the mid-market. So, very powerful way of processing orders throughout the system. What I also want to take a look at next on this particular area is the powerful way that X3 does allocations. And assignments, or if you think about it, rest assured that what you promise at 10, you don't have to worry about shipping at 2 o'clock. X3 can be configured to automatically allocate to orders immediately. So in this example, access an option for status, tell me precisely what has been ordered and allocated. X3 immediately can allocate these, or if it suits your business process or model, you can defer to a separate process later that's more of a you-defined as-needed allocation, or you can completely allocate manually. The X3 back orders quantities are not available. In this case, if I ordered quantity that wasn't able to allocate, I would create a back order or a shortage. X can also automatically allocate back orders upon receipt of product from a supplier, or as they come in from a customer return and are approved to be resold. So it's very powerful with this automatic allocation capability, and these allocations are also configurable to by site, so that I can have different rules at different sites and different warehouses or locations as well. Ability to allocate by site, by lot, by consigned location, to customer shipping routes as well. I'm going to add another map here off of my quote and processing. So X3 can automatically allocate as soon as product is available. We all have the ability to reserve certain product that might be in to certain customers. This product, I have a reservation. I'm reserving 100 of my available stock up until the end of October for this particular customer. Why? Because they've asked for it and they're a good customer, and I want to make sure that I can fulfill that. Other things I can do, I can also create what are called assignments. Assignments are how X3 will deal with either back orders on the inbound side. I can assignment rules, assign or auto deassign, or create an assignment workbench. So what this does, for those that I really want to make sure I peg against a particular inbound transaction. This example, I've got several orders and a supplier order of 800 coming in. So what I can do is I can come out and create specific links again for this supplier order of 800 to make sure it goes out to these individual sales orders. A very powerful way of making sure I'm taking care of the customers that I need to take care of. Now I'd like to take a look at some of the pick, pack, and ship operations within X3. I've created a process flow just to describe the common distribution practice in the product. In it, we have the ability of doing both order preparation and shipment preparation. It provides us very flexible processes for managing warehouses and customer deliveries. These orders can be processed individually or grouped together, as we'll describe. These options allow customers, X3 users, to tailor their business to maximize warehouse personnel and equipment. So we've seen sales order, but we actually have a picking operation that is optional, RF scanning that is optional, and a shipment preparation and shipment confirmation that is optional. These things can be done either manually. I can go to a screen and do them, or set them up to automatically be prepared, or prepare them in a workbench. So, example with picking preparation, what is that about? I've set up the process flow to sort of show a diagram. With picking preparation, I might have hundreds or thousands of orders out there, but I create certain subsets or a certain wave of tickets to be, I want to pick these items and have one under a pick plan. Or these can be one or many different types of operations. Again, this can be done automatically based on rules, or they can simply flow one order at a time, or it doesn't need to be done at all. Operations. On the shipment side, this picking preparation could contain orders from one or many different customers, whatever is the most efficient for me to pick through the warehouse. On the shipment confirmation side, I then need to process those orders into specific shipments to customers. So customer A is going to have these two orders, customer B might have these orders, customer B might have these orders. But a customer have more than one order in a day. Could be order situations, they could be route situations where I'm getting orders over a period of time and then simply shipping those to the customer at some point in time in the future. So with that example, I have the ability, of course, to create this order, do the pick, scan, shipment confirmation, and invoice. These can be done through themselves by pushing a button, or I can, through X3, automatically do them as well. An example of that is shipment confirmation. Imagine you're a distributor and you have a well-run shipping operation. You're doing 1,000 orders a day. 4 of the orders need to have some type of hand touching, so that I was supposed to ship 50, I only shipped 37. Once I fix those 4 orders, I can actually ask X3 to go and confirm the other 996, which takes an incredible amount of time. All configurable by the automatic creation and validation of these different types of documents. So to show again that how easy it can be, but also how sophisticated it can become as well. I also run through this entire process simply through manual entry screen as well. I'm going to come back and look at the order that I imported from spreadsheet. This is the one we did this morning. So, looking at 3 products and quantities on this order, I'm looking at the status has already been allocated. So I'm good and ready to go. At the lower portion of the screen, the buttons out, I can the allocation. I can create a pick ticket, or I go straight to the delivery option. In this example, I'm simply going to go straight to delivery. I'm going to utilize a standard shipment. And there's different choices I would have based on my security access. Oftentimes, this is a different department, but I'm just going to show you how easy it is. I'm now in the shipping mode, about to ship these 3 particular products. All information shipped information has already been filled in for me automatically. If I want to do a packaging operation, there's a button here for packaging. What is that? Well, this is where the customer wants me to tell them what's inside each individual box. In this case, I'm going to grab a large box. I'm going to pick which items are in that box. Item 1, Item 2, Item 3. And then from that, I can set information. X3 can take the tare weight of the large box and add the weight of the items in the box and come up with the weight of the package. You can also, again, integrate to third-party applications that can shop among multiple carriers for freight and tie tracking numbers to the application as well. This is given this package or pallet a license number, PAC 001. Those license numbers are things that you configure and call back to the shipment. And there I could actually do the validation. Now validate the product. I've hit the product and the invoice button lights up. Some of our customers like to put an invoice in the packing slip. And so, again, understand that this is, I'm simply showing how easy this is to roll through one step to the other. I'm now created invoice number 211 and post that from here. In a bid environment, I might have that run as a process, or that might be a completely different department that would run that particular area. I even come in and make a payment here as well. Again, if I wanted to do so in my quote to cash type of operation. Simple check number and say OK. From driving all the way from end to end is quite easy. Now let's get a second example, and there's my email shipment confirmation going out to the customer again. That Amazon.com experience within order entry. So here I have let's take the order that I did for an individual unit. This is order 401, and it is out there as an order to be shipped through the application. In this example, let's go through the pick preparation model. I can automatically create a picking ticket. I can also do a workbench. In this example, simply allows me to check, input different parameters to bring up what? To bring up the orders that I want to look for. In this example, with X3 allocates, if I've just done a receipt and just push the button, I actually get any back orders that are now available to ship as well. So look at my list here. I have I don't have 401, or do I? Nope. Okay. For 403 instead. All right. Well. Example, happen to just be searching for the individual item. In this example, I'm actually planning. I want to generate this. I could have brought up 1 or 1,000 line items. I can include all, exclude all, set in certain priorities. But in this example, I simply want to create that preparation list and the picking ticket. I have ticket number 241. It's with the printer. It is now sitting on the printer, and optionally, I can come in and access a barcode scanning screen. This is a screen that runs on the handheld barcode device. I can now scan my pick ticket number, barcode it off my pick ticket. There's order 241, and I can either instruct the user which pack location to take it to, or they drop it off where they drop it. This particular barcode scanning screen is configured simply more as a validation. So I'm simply doing my pick of 10 units, and I'm going to say OK. And it'll be moved into a status of now deliverable. I would also then move on to my next picking ticket in the picking group in case it was done through some type of a wave pick of multiple orders through multiple customers. I've done my sales order. I've done a manual picking preparation of 1 or thousands of items, and I've done my scanning. Next thing I'm going to do as a shipping individual is I'm going to come in and I'm going to generate new shipment and look at all of my pick tickets that are ready for me to work with. So you recognize this screen from what we did before. This is simply a list of the things I'm supposed to be working on today, or the things I can expect to see. This example, I simply click on my 241, and there I am over on the side. I can do my particular shipment, and that I simply need to do. I could validate. This could be validated later automatically, and I want to define packaging. I can do so. This sort of gives us an idea of some of the powerful capabilities that are out there. One more area, and we do have the capability of doing directed picking. This is where I can take the same information and rather than I can actually create work assignments for individual users, such as user 1, user 2, or user 3. They can be in different zones or areas of the warehouse as well. Send those to their handhelds. So I'm going to come back to X3. One more thing about pick, packing, and shipping is our we have a complete customer return area that allows us to do maze, service on products and repairs. So from the again, start off with the customer search, look at their install base, generate a service request. They've got some type of problem. I can do a service response and get back to them to solve that problem, or generate a sales return. Within returns, I have a as I generate a new return, to be able to specify the customer, he'll be able to view all of the sales orders that they purchased from us, including what they purchased and how many they've returned thus far. So it's a great way of keeping track of what's going on with that particular customer. To perspective, simply highlight one here that's taken place already. And as I click and go into my form mode here, within a sales return, I'm able to define what is that's actually being returned, with a return reason that I can track, a return date. Do I want to update inventory? Is that coming back? It will actually go into a status of queue, which is requiring quality inspection into this particular, and I do want to generate a credit memo. For example, we've created a credit memo SM S5 from the original shipment number. It's a very powerful way of doing customer returns as well as return to vendors. Let's bring to the next portion of the presentation, and that's our purchasing and receiving area. A visual map around supply chain management and purchasing, just to describe all the capabilities within the purchasing and receiving area. Also then want to talk about our replenishment capabilities, how we can calculate inventory levels based on demand to keep customer service levels high, but keep inventory as efficient as possible. So 3, within supplier purchasing, this is a visual process, that has a visual process map as well as other gadgets that a purchase unit might find important. But little 3 purchasing covers the entire process from end to end. Beginning, purchase requests can be entered manually or generated automatically by MRP. These are electronic requisitions where I'm going to input product that I'm looking for. These would go on hold or be approved by my manager, or if I have security access, I could actually create the purchase order here from them myself. The walkthrough approval process, and then can be either visible in the buyer's workbench for the purchasing agent, or can be generated, go directly to a purchase order. Complete RFQ process, including the entry of products. I copy this information in from purchase requests and issue this information out to our many different suppliers. These are the products on the RFQ. These are suppliers I'm looking for pricing from. I send these flyers notices and register their responses. The responses are their prices, terms and conditions. I automatically supplier and then generate the pricing records that will be used on purchase orders in the future. POs, or purchase contracts, can also be generated and defined. These are typically, sometimes also referred to as blanket POs. They can be for long-term or quantity items. And our replenishment engines can generate additional releases on a purchase contract with a supplier rather than generating a brand new purchase request. In addition to that, we also have the MRP calculations and reorder points when we get to the replenishment area that feed a buyer's workbench. But the purchase themselves, I can create them manually. We generate them from a sales order in that case of the drop ship or special order, that buyer's workbench, which we'll look at in just a moment, or from purchase requests. In this example, I have the ability to schedule an order for different multiple receiving points. So I'd have this particular order is all to be received in one location, or I could specify different receiving sites and different delivery addresses as well. Delivery dates. This lets me create a single PO rather than reducing the number of purchase orders that I have to create. It also would allow me to make price breaks for total purchase quantities on a purchase order as well. Just within order entry, sales order entry, I can define different order types that allow to have different inputs for different types of purchases that might need to take place. Access pre-purchase prices, so I can view in this example purchase price for these particular items as we in sales order entry. Also can from here my prices themselves. So in this case, price detail for this particular supplier from these particular dates, I'm getting a price of $4. No quantity breaks. So much of the same drill down capability and drill around capability as we saw within the sales order entry side. To generate the purchase orders, these can be generated and transmitted hard copy or electronically. And also the purchase orders do run with revisions as well. I can run multiple revisions on a purchase order. So if I'm looking at PO number 194, let's take a look at the receiving side of this. From receiving, the entry function allows me the ability to utilize my left list so I can create a new receipt and view all the orders that are outstanding. I can place a particular supplier in this particular, my choice will be limited. The purchase order 194 that we were referring to before, these are ordered and to be received. I can select all those and it will automatically populate the receipts, and I'll filter out any of the other vendors out of that list. I can also add multiple receipts to this PO if I wish, depending on what the supplier is sending me. Automatically can do for me. I'm going to access form mode here, just as a display. Can automatically default what default status, the A accepted status, Q for in quality inspection, or R for rejected. These are different statuses. Any of the A statuses that appear are automatically available for allocating to any other order or work order within the application. I also have the ability to prefine put away rules. So in this case, this particular item is defined to go into location of rack, and this one is going into RCK04. By this Q, this would automatically go into the QC areas. Notice all I did here was simply accept the defaults, but I can automatically override this information. X knows automatically if there's a supplier or lot, lot information, or information that needs to be captured. From there, I can then execute my receipt, and those have now been automatically received into the system and appropriate entries into the blend made as well. Now back to the importance of replenishment. And what's so important is the ability to match supply with demand. And within X3, inventory replenishment rules that are available and maintained by product and site to help balance customer service levels. So I'm going to access my product site area here for a specific product. And in this example, I'm looking at a particular product in the Atlanta location. So I'm able to define as an example that this is a stock or non-stocked item, cycle, I'm doing cycle counting, have the ability to track expiration dates and quality. I'll define different default receiving locations if desired here as well. And from a planning perspective, I have different ways in which I can reorder product. I can order by order points or by periodic reordering, MRP or MPS. This particular item happens to be on an order point on a suggested type of purchase. I can enter these reorder levels myself manually, or X3 can calculate them for me based on past sales history and also sales history parameters that I can define by product category and by site to more carefully match exactly what I want to do. If I move binding as an example, if I look at the same item in my Chicago location, simply hang on my left list and everything changes based on that. I'm looking at site D12. In this example, I'm looking at a reorder point, but rather than ordering from supplier, this is a site transfer, which often is the case with different locations that might be close enough to share product rather than reorder from a different vendor. So this is actually going to order from this particular site rather than from a different supplier. So within X3, I've got the ability to define these different thresholds. I can view this is my product site area, view the product inside, view the total sales history here, look at some detailed cost calculations. With costs, I have a variety of different cost calculation methods, average lot, standard cost, FIFO cost, and regardless of which method I choose, I'm actually going to keep less cost, and cost as well. Be very granular. These can be made up of, in the case of distribution, I can utilize not only the material costs, but the landed cost of freight and other incidents, overhead costs that are burdened as they come to the door. Move back to the product level for the particular item. With the, let me go and grab that item out of my list here. I can different statistical groups, display different types of graphs or pictures, UPC codes, define it's going to be lot or serial managed, view different units of measure. Unit of measure allow me to defaults for how I want to view stock or of the purchase, sales units of measure, how I want to buy it. It also allows me to keep inventory in both eaches and cases and pallets. It gets easier, and I don't have to create as many part numbers to try to do that as well. X keeps that for me and will display what I have in each unit of measure, as well as converting it to the stock unit of measure. So from just a pure purchasing perspective, I can also set up my relationship with different suppliers. This item is available from 2 different suppliers. This is my primary supplier based on my priority here. It has its own part number from that particular supplier, own UPC code, description if necessary. And also have its own purchasing unit of measure, minimum order quantities by supplier, and so forth. Very full reordering functionality and capability, ability to see purchasing prices here or jump to product site as well. Inventory site perspective for the different locations, by site or by product category, I can set up for my reordering parameters. I'm able to set up, for example, sales history, for how much sales history I want to use to calculate safety stock, how much product I want to be included in my different service levels, calculate my EOQs, how much sales history do I want to use, reorder points, including safety stock or not, etc. So different parameters that I can also utilize. I'm going to move on. So from this, I can come back to my and can actually run MRP, the classic MRP calculation, if I'm doing a new area, or can utilize something called statistical reordering. So in this example, I can either run what needs to be ordered based off reorder points, use reorder points, or simply calculation only mode. And why I want to recalculate order levels? Well, that's how I keep my inventory tuned with demand. As products begin to sell more, the order points and order triggers will raise. If they begin to sell less, they will drop off. So as an example, order point, do I want to use entered or calculated amounts? Say X3 is very clever in it. Even if I'm doing amounts and calculations don't have enough data, it will fall back to my entered quantities as well. If I can choose what I want to calculate, also can choose different product ranges, send off to do its calculations, and then it comes up with suggestions for me in Buyer's Workbench. On that Buyer's Workbench, and in the Workbench, I'm looking at by site individually, or I can look at all sites. They show me the different types of products that are out there to be ordered, as well as the statuses and the products and the order suggestions. Criteria, I have a variety of ways I can view the information if I wish, miss them and then recall them. So if I'm making just of a couple of locations, I can set those rules up in a formula, which basically is unlimited type of functionality. In this example, I'm going with 2 different sites between these different product codes, and then read that information. This is showing the filters that have been predefined. Within the requirements area, the red check boxes indicate that these are ready to be picked, or they're ready to be ordered. I can include them all or exclude them and just simply make selections. And as I make the selections, you'll notice on the upper right-hand corner of the screen, I'm actually tracking my weight, volumes, and costs in case I want to meet a certain weight minimum or not overload a truck. Also notice that this is a order from site D12, order 6,000 of this particular individual unit. And one item that we set up as a transfer, it's actually set up to transfer this product from supplier D11. So that in this, from site D11. So in this example, I'm not bringing it from a supplier, but the system automatically sees it, and it's going to suggest and I can execute from here, a transfer from that particular site. Other that I have at my disposal here, I can drill in and view product history. So here, lets me go out and look at product history, what's been selling in the past. I also can view management data, which tells me helps me understand what it came up with the order. The order point of 3,000. I have an economic order quantity of 6,000. I've got 1,500 in stock, so I need to get 1,500 back. But the EOQ for this particular item, it wants me to order in increments of 6,000, so that's my recommendation. Also, I have a situation where I may want to add an order by looking at other products that might be available from that supplier. So this example simply shows me every other item that's been configured against that particular supplier, what's available, what's already on order, my EOQs, what my suggestions are. It simply lets me go through and build the order myself manually if I want to add additional items to that order. I can simply add in the quantities that I want to order, generate the order, and X3 will create the purchase order for me. We're at the end of our time, and I appreciate your participation today in our demonstration around the power of X3 for distributors. This time,